Tonight, the top three candidates in New York City's mayoral race will take part in their first debate. That includes former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who's running as an independent, Curtis Sliwa, who's running as a Republican, and Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani, running as a Democrat. Mamdani appeared on Fox News yesterday and spoke directly to President Trump. Listen to this.
And I just want to speak directly to the president, which is that I will not be a mayor like Mayor Adams, who will call you to figure out how to stay out of jail. I won't be a disgraced governor like Andrew Cuomo, who will call you to ask how to win this election. I can do those things on my own. I will, however, be a mayor who's ready to speak at any time to lower the cost of living.
CBS News political director Fin Gómez is here in New York and joins me in studio. Good to see you.
Hey, Vlad. Good to see you, too.
Good to see you, my brother. All right. So, during his interview, Mamdani apologized to police officers yesterday. What was that all about?
Yeah, this goes back to 2020 when he had just been elected to the state assembly here in New York. And it was right after, if you remember, it was right after the George Floyd death. And he had put out on social media and publicly it said that some really sharp criticism towards the NYPD, saying that they were racist, that they were corrupt. And so when he went on Fox yesterday and talked about this, he had said that he had already had some private conversations with the police here in New York City, and also apologized publicly. And I think it was a smart move politically, at least that's what I'm hearing from progressives, because they feel that the crowd that he was trying to address, especially with the Fox News crowd, were those who were more supportive of police.
Yeah, and I thought it was good for him to go on Fox. Martha McCallum, always a great anchor journalist, was able to probe some of his past controversies, and he was there in the kitchen, so to speak, to take the heat. The other candidate I want to ask you about is Curtis Sliwa. He spoke to CBS News this week about what he believes sets him apart from other candidates. I want to play a little bit of what he told our CBS News producer, Jared O'Kocher.
If New York City ends up with a socialist mayor, it will encourage other young Democratic Socialists of America, led by Bernie Sanders, AOC, and now Zohran Mamdani, to come on board and become DSA members and take over their city's government legally. I'm the only one standing between Zohran Mamdani and Andrew Cuomo, who I call Zohran Light.
All right, so Sliwa has sort of been a dark horse in this race. The criticisms leveled at Mamdani, who apparently seems to be the front runner in this race, that he's a socialist. You know, that term gets tossed around a lot by people whenever they have a policy, just the same way that sometimes people on the left talk about fascism when they're describing their opponents on the other side. There's nothing that indicates that he's an avowed socialist, but that is a label that he's going to have to fight against if he's going to be elected mayor, and especially if he is elected mayor.
Yeah, I mean, look, he is a Democratic Socialist. He belongs to that Democratic Socialist Party. Obviously, he's running as a Democrat since then, since the primary upset win against Cuomo and others. He's basically moderated himself in a lot of these positions. Look, there's still a pretty significant, at least according to the latest Quinnipiac poll, there's a pretty significant, sizable lead between that he has over Cuomo and Sliwa. Sliwa is like way in third place. But if you look at it, since Eric Adams, the current mayor, as you know, dropped out, that support has gone to Cuomo.
The Adams supporters are now drifting towards Cuomo.
You could see that. You could see, like, since in like previous polling to like the most recent one, the support has really gone to Cuomo. Still, Mamdani, according to these polls, has about a 12 to 13-digit lead. Sliwa's in the back. But if you look at Sliwa's in this most recent Q poll, if you look at it, the difference is about the same. So I think there are many. I spoke to some Cuomo supporters here in New York who say they believe that if he did drop out, and I don't think there's at least he's saying he's not going to. But if he did drop out, you could see that lead narrow between Mamdani and Cuomo.
So yeah, I mean, so he's a member of the Democratic Socialist Party. Yeah. He's running as a Democrat. The question, of course, is now with the Adams voters drifting towards Cuomo, it does strike me that even though the press seems to be enamored with Mamdani, certainly young people are, that it's an uphill battle. Even if if the polls are showing that he's the front runner now, because I'm just imagining all those people who loved Andrew Cuomo when he was governor. Right. You got people in Staten Island, you got people on the Upper West Side. Sure. That's Cuomo's natural base. Harlem, which is where Eric Adams might have had some real sway, if those votes are going to, or those supporters are drifting towards Cuomo, doesn't it mean that Mamdani, maybe that the polls aren't accurately reflecting where New Yorkers really stand?
I mean, yeah, I think there is a chance that is the case. We have seen in previous cycles that it hasn't been accurate. I do think that pretty much the general sense is that the Mamdani does have a pretty healthy lead versus Cuomo right now. But as you know, we're 19 days away to Election Day. This is the most consequential mayoral election in years. You can see some narrowing in the leads, and I think there's a lot of people who expect that to happen.
Is there any pressure on Sliwa to drop out then?
There has been from the White House.
From the White House?
The president
so that's interesting. The White
said,
House is pushing because they know that it's going to benefit Cuomo.
Yeah, we do know that the president has publicly said that he's poked fun at Sliwa, and there has been some pressure to push him out, but he has said that and he has reiterated that he's not leaving.
Really fascinating. It's really interesting. Kind of a unique situation happening here in New York City, including Fin Gómez here in Studio 55. Yeah, love that.
I love
good
it.
to
First
see you,
time.
my brother. Yeah, thank you very much for stopping by.